Hey everyone, this is Marjory Wildcraft, and we're back for another Adventures in High Performance Gardening with Lynn Gillespie of The Living Farm. And Lynn, if you haven't been catching on before, Lynn is my coach here in Colorado. I've never grown in this type of soil or in this climate, so I've got a coach.
Yep, it's going to be fun.
And if anything goes wrong, it's all Lynn's fault.
Okay, I'll take the blame.
No.
Except for the wildlife. That's your fault.
The good news is the deer have not eaten anything yet.
Well, we haven't planted anything.
Well, that's true too.
So we're 100%. Great.
All right, so Lynn, where's your map?
I got our map.
Lynn has made a map of what we're going to plant and where, and the cycling and everything of like when we're going to plant in the stages, because some of these are going to be warm weather. We're going to do the cool weather crops now.
Yep.
Because we don't know if it's going to freeze or not.
Oh yeah, we do.
We do.
It'll probably snow too.
This part of the we knows that it's going to freeze. Yeah. But I know it ain't crazy. Like I'm like in t-shirt weather now.
Yeah, it'll be 30 degrees tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We fluctuate 40, 50 degrees.
Hey, do you have a particular weather app on your phone that you like?
I use the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel.
And I use it, and I know that it's always 4 degrees off. So if it says like 36 degrees, I know that I'll probably have frost. Yeah, because everyone has little microclimates.
Right.
And just pick one, get used to it, and figure out how much it changes from what your actual backyard is.
You know, they've gotten a lot more accurate.
Oh, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. I mean, but you know, I don't know if you remember 20 or 30, 40 years ago, it was like a real crapshoot. But anyway, so the map you got here, actually, if you want to know exactly what Lynn decided how to plant, she had me go through this whole questionnaire of what I like to eat and how much people I was going to feed and all that whole thing. And that's in your abundance gardening course. So Lynn has all those specific instructions. Fortunately for me, Lynn just made it up, and I don't have to. She did all the questions for me.
I helped you through the process.
She helped me through. I know. Yeah. I need it.
And to be a high performance garden, we want high production, and part of high production is planning what you're doing. So you don't want too much, too little. You want to get the right amount. And that's super critical.
And high density spacing.
We're going to go high density. We can have a little garden because we're not going to overplant. That a lot of people, they'll plant like the whole package, and it's like, no.
Yeah, right. Especially if we put this whole thing in squash, people would hate me.
Yeah.
I also, just FYI, I went ahead and inoculated these beds with worms. It turns out Lynn is worm phobic.
I just get nightmares from them. I
love
like
earthworms. They're so cute.
I respect them. I love them. I just don't touch them.
Lynn, look, we got little visitors.
Oh, we got company.
Yep.
We got the kittens.
The kittens.
These are guard kitties.
Right.
For the garden.
That's why we have an electric fence, so that this does not turn into a litter box.
Yep.
All right, so we need to get to planting.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Here's the plan for this garden. In this corner up here is going to be the tomatoes.
Okay.
And you've selected a couple different varieties, which I have at the greenhouse. It's way too early.
But we're not putting those out now.
No, so we're going to leave that blank. In front of that's going to be cabbage.
Oh, nice.
And you said you wanted 1 cabbage a week.
Yeah.
So we're going to plant cabbage in succession so that you have cabbages coming on about once a week.
Good.
The center section, we're going to put cucumbers on a trellis in the back here. We're going to grow very vertical, because that's how we're going to save a lot of space. In the front, we're going to have our chard and our kale, because you like to eat a lot of greens.
I love
chard. So we're going to put that in there. And then this section here in the back is going to be winter squash, so that you have something to save for the winter. And then in the front, we're going to put peas right now. And then when the peas are done, then we'll have time, hopefully, to get some green beans in and crop those out for you.
Awesome.
So hopefully peas and beans. And then along the back here is going to be our garlic shoots, and then cilantro a little bit later in the front. And then we're going to use the outside blocks around the tomatoes and stuff for some late lettuce.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that sounds great.
Compost went into the mix. So we're not having to feed. We have a feed schedule that we will do for our plants, but for today we don't have to concern about that because we've already composted.
This is really good soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can show you how I plant the high performance garden. Might be a little different than what you do in Texas. You know, Texas is big. You might plant really big down there, but
well, let's go for it.
Okay.
Let's put some things in the ground.
So the first thing we're going to do is the first third of this bed is going to be peas.
I got the bag of peas.
And we're probably going to go peas to about right here.
Okay.
And I like to plant my peas in just kind of a furrow.
Yeah.
And by the handfuls to where they're kind of thick in here.
That way you get to eat them when you thin them out.
We are going to put the squash in the back. So we have a couple choices. We can either put peas all the way to the back and then cut them when we put the squash in and eat them as pea shoots. And we are going to have a bed of pea shoots as well. Or we can stop the peas short and just leave a little space for the squash.
Well, let's grow them if we're going to grow them. I mean, it's a couple
Go ahead,
of
I'll
extra
go all the way?
seeds. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love pea shoots.
Oh, I love pea shoots too,
Oh, my
especially
God.
for breakfast.
Stir-fried
Oh,
pea
man.
shoots and eggs. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is sugar Ian. This is a 30-inch, so it's going to come up somewhere in here, and we'll put
And this is a bush
trellis
type?
over there. It's a
no?
bush type,
Yeah.
and it's early season.
Okay.
And I just put just like a thick
Oh, nice.
stripe across there.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
Yeah. So pretty simple.
You've got a nicer stripe than I do. I've got stripe envy.
Well, we can go down there and stripe.
Ah, you do put them in there kind of thick, huh?
I put them in pretty thick, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay. We need a little bit on that corner over there. And then I just knock the soil back over the top of these. And then we're going to mulch this garden. This is the sandy loam soil, and the plants love it. It does tend to dry out on top really easy for us, especially in our dry desert climate.
Yep.
And so by putting the mulch on, it does a couple things for us. It holds in the moisture. It slows down any weed seeds that might be in this. And it also feeds our microbes. So we like mulch. Oh, you almost had lots
we
of
almost
peas.
had a different pot. Here we go. Reach out.
Okay. All right, and then in the back here, along these holes, we're going to put in the garlic shoots. And these are so much fun. And basically what you do is you just take, you take a bulb, pointy end up, and you just push that in until your knuckles disappear.
Okay, and
And
how many?
that's it.
4 in a...
I put 4 in a
That's
section.
what I would have guessed. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Hey, I have got help.
Ah, the kittens are back.
Come here, you.
I really, really like the garlic shoots. They're so wonderful, like in the stir fries, and gives you a nice flavor for spring, so you don't have to wait for the whole garlic bulb to finish. And basically you can just go to the store and buy an organic bulb of garlic and bust it apart like this, and just drop it in the garden. Okay,
All right.
that's garlic shoots. That easy and delicious and fun.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in. Okay, next is in this front section is going to be kale and chard. Now we can plant all the way to the back, take out a few plants, and put in the cucumbers in about a month.
Okay.
You wanna do that?
Young chard, young kale. Now, do you want to define this little bed area, or?
Yeah, I think we want to go to about right here.
Okay.
I'll call that good. Now, when I put in the beets and chard, I just use my fingers, and I'm just going to make a line to put the seed in. We'll go on both sides. So they're about 3 inches apart. And I like the small beets and chard. I don't like the great big leaves.
Yeah.
And so I put it in really thick, and then I harvest the small leaves. And that's just my preference on how I like to grow it.
I get it. They're tender.
So like that. And then kale's on that size. This is kale. And I'll show you how I plant, and then I'll turn you loose. So I take a pinch in my fingers, and I'm just twisting
Yep.
and dropping kale seeds just like that.
Okay, I'm going to make make a little stone here so we remember you did those rows.
We're going to do chard here. Oh yeah, as soon as it's done you can
cover it up.
Yeah, here you go. You can do kale.
And you got these from Johnny's, huh?
I love Johnny's. It's a great company.
Johnny's.
Their stuff germinates so well. There's a couple seed companies that I use, but Johnny's is definitely one of my favorites. And we're going to put in the cabbage.
Okay, oh that's right, we got 2 cabbage transplants, right?
So these are, this is minuet, this is a little Chinese cabbage. And we're just going to stick just make a couple holes.
Wow, those are pretty close plantings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Density, that's what we're after.
Okay. Are these miniature cabbages?
Yep.
Oh.
These are going to be they'll get about like that.
Okay, okay.
And then we'll put in different flavors every couple weeks, probably every 3 weeks. We want to put in a couple more, 2-3 weeks. I mean, that's simple.
We're saving you for the tomatoes.
Tea.
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 Yeah. Everybody's going to wonder what that was about. Is that some pagan sign you're doing in the house there?
For tomatoes.
So now we need
to mulch and then water.
And water.
This is Marjory's yard. So a lot of people have yards. They
I've
have
noticed that, yeah.
Grass,
Yeah.
and they don't know what to do with it. It ends up in the landfills, and that's totally ridiculous. So this is the best use for the yard, is to grow your grass and then make mulch. The only caveat is you can't put chemicals on your lawn and use it in your organic garden. You got to keep the chemicals out of the yard, which is better for you and your kittens anyways.
And your kittens, yeah.
Yeah. So first we start with a very light layer, and then as the garden season progresses, we'll put it on thicker and thicker. So we'll keep mowing your lawn and keep using this resource. Yay!
Yay!
One bed in. Now we gotta get water.
We got to get water.
Okay,
Done?
done.